All right, hello everybody. I'm going to get started with our announcements today. Our speaker's in transit to his facility, so he should be here by the time we end with the announcements. So welcome everybody to whatever month we're in, February of the new year. Welcome to the Bucks County Aquarium Society meeting. These are the announcements. Fishy business coming up. Most in-person meetings are canceled per usual. There is a virtual convention coming up. The Bucks County Aquarium Society is part of the Northeast Council of Aquarium Societies. So they're planning a virtual online convention on April 23rd to 25th. So that's something that's coming up. Obviously, Bucks County, we're still remote right now. We'll let you know if and when that changes. You can always check the various websites and Facebook pages for online meetings of our various sister clubs. Oh, and I just checked, Aqua Real is still hiring. So that is something that's still up on their website. They had presented at our club a while back, and they are looking for some new employees and fish and aquarium enthusiasts. So if that's something that you would enjoy, go ahead and apply at that link. Mark, there's some echo. Can you mute? All right. So that link, you can apply through there, or I can email you the full listing if you want like actual description of what they're looking for. And in the meantime, you should know by now, stay away from people, cover your face. Stay one sturgeon away from the next nearest person, wear your mask, and check in with everybody. It's been a long time since I've seen you all, so check in with everybody, make sure everybody's safe. And be good to your fish. I guess at this point, it's been a year. It's a little too late if you've been overfeeding them, but hopefully you're treating them right, doing your water exchanges and hoarding those VAP points for the time where that opens up again. I'm sure like the first meeting that we have again is going to be tons of fry everywhere. And a reminder that if you're a Bucks County member or local to Bucks County and you are currently struggling or you don't have enough water conditioner or fish food or something, please just let me know. Please stay safe. I will help you out. Don't ever feel like you are stuck inside and can't get the things that you need to keep your fish. And connect with us. We're still active on our Facebook page. We still have our website as well. Obviously, all the active 2020 members were automatically renewed for 2021. So if you remember last year, you're a member this year. But if you weren't a member last year, you can sign up this year, and you can do that through the website without having to interact with anyone. Our raffle prize today is a $50 gift card to Fish Factory and a fish food prize pack. So make sure that you are announcing that you are here in the chat, and Sherry will make sure that she knows that you are here to be entered into this if you are a Bucks County member and you signed up through the link that was sent to your email. All right, Mark, you want to take it away?
Okay, I'm not sure that he's here yet. Should be here in a minute or two, though, I would think. Yeah. I tell you, I finally have figured out that there's one good thing about the pandemic, and that's online fish club meetings. It's been really cool to me to be able to finally get some of the speakers that I've been trying to figure out how to schedule for 10, 15 years. Last month's was one of those, and tonight's is another one. Barnett Shutman has been involved in the aquarium industry for probably longer than I have. I've been dealing with him back into the 80s. He was part of Brem Marine Fish, which was one of the first ones to really push hand-caught fish out of the Philippines, trying to avoid the cyanide collection that became so prevalent there in the 1980s, late 70s and early 80s. I've referred to Barnett many times as the best fish supplier on the planet. And I really mean that when I say that. He's the guy that really does things right. He is concerned not only about the quality of the fish and the care that the fish get, but also about taking care of the native people and the native environments where they're collecting from. He's always been about trying to make sure that it's a sustainable income for the coastal communities that are collecting the fish, and that the environments are protected so that it can be used long term. This is clearly a sustainable resource. Don't believe the critics of the hobby when they tell you otherwise. What's happening in Hawaii right now is real travesty. Um, and that's a whole nother subject. And, maybe we ought to try to do a little special meeting on that at some point and go over some of the things that are happening there, because it is a major threat to our hobby. This could very well, what's happening in Hawaii could be the beginning of the end of the aquarium hobby in the United States and worldwide for that matter. So it's something we really need to be concerned with. But like I said, Barnett is really a guy who's never been about anything that's a negative. He's always been a positive guy. He's always been trying to make sure that the best things are happening for the planet, the fish, the people involved. So, it's really my great pleasure to introduce him tonight. Is he on yet, Callie?
Not that I can see, so stall for time.
Yeah.
Do you want me to show the fish?
Yeah, you can show the fish. This is Barnett Shutman, which is named after Barnett. It is one of the new fish species found by the collectors for RVS Fishworld, which he owns, was part owner of. That's his supplier in the Philippines. He also supplies fish from the Red Sea. He's been involved in Belize. He's been involved in Indonesia. He used to have a place in Bali. He's opening a new place in Papua New Guinea that longer term will not only have saltwater, but also have freshwater fish available. So we're going to be able to see some wild caught rainbows and things coming in directly out of Papua New Guinea, which is really a cool thing. They ship into the United States multiple times a week. They ship into New York for every Friday arrival. And fish come into JFK, and then I bet everybody who orders picks them up there. They're shipping at this point 100 to 150 boxes a week into JFK. And that's all for shops in the area. Natural Pet buys from them. Aquarium Care Center buys from them. There's any number of places in the area that do. They also supply seagrass. They supply sea-dwelling creatures. They supply a number of places in LA. They ship through Chicago. They do all sorts of things. I know one of the things, I just talked to Barnett a few minutes ago, and he was going to run down to the facility where, it's 7:30 in the morning over there now, and they're packing 4 orders to go out. One of those is into New York. One is to Seagrist. One is to Japan, and he wasn't sure where the other one was going, but there's a 4th one going out as well. So, you're going to get to see, in addition to some of the videos that we're going to watch tonight, he'll be doing a little bit of a walk around and show us how that whole packing process works and show you the fish and things that are in his facility. If you've followed Reef Builders at all in the last few years, you've seen a number of articles on Reef Builders focusing on new fish that they've found in the Philippines that either were not known to hobbyists or even to science before, or fish where they found fish there that they didn't know existed there before. So they're extending the known range on a number of things. They've actually gotten yellow tangs. They've gotten a number of the yellow version of the Scopus tangs, but true yellow tangs, flavicins, they found some there. They found Helfrich eye firefish, all kinds of cool stuff that we had no idea came from there. So, they've been really doing a lot of things that benefit the hobby. Back in the 90s, it was really Barnett that made Red Sea fish a serious part of the hobby and not just something for the really high-end people. He was the one who was exporting those in quantity and brought the price down to what almost all of us could afford. They've inched back up a bit since then, but, they're still much more common than they were 20 years ago. Or I guess at this point, it's probably much more common than they were 30 years ago. Early 90s when we got those fish, purple tangs were $700 each. And that was in 1990s dollars. And now you buy them for under 200. And, the value of that dollar has gone way down.
Ooh, we have him.
He's here.
Aha. All right, Mark, you're off the hook.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mark, you're off the hook. Look at that, huh? They just keep coming after us all the time, Mark. Unbelievable.
Always, you know. So glad you're here. I'm glad we finally got this worked out. I'm excited.
Yes.
All right. You want to pop out, Mark?
Yep, I'm going to.
All right. Thank you.
You're popping out, Mark.
Popping out. All right, Barnett, I have the 4 videos that you wanted to talk over. Whenever you're ready, I will start it.
We're ready. Ready to go. Just give me a bottle of water, please. Joe, a bottle of water, please. Young lady, your name is?
My name's Callie.
Callie?
Yep.
Hey, Callie, is that live or am I going to speak over this net training program?
You can speak over it.
Okay.
Mark said you wanted these in the background and you were going to speak over it. So it's up to you, whatever you want.
Right. So basically, this net training is in Lubang Occidental Mindoro. We trained 50 divers. These are all marginal fishermen. Before we got there, they were earning about maybe $50 a month. After the net training, they earn $250 a week. It's a game changer on sustainable livelihood, to give an education on how to protect their coral reefs and for them to earn money and show them protecting the reefs and how they can always replenish themselves with aquarium fish if their reef is healthy. So here, as you see, we do this 7 days, be a 3-day classroom, 3 days open water. Now these are all divers, okay, experienced divers, but with no education, never had an education, never had an opportunity, a helping hand, a vicer, the government or any program that came to the Philippines, unfortunately. So we do this privately. Let me explain. My company pays for every penny. We do this private. We don't, we get some help from our wholesalers in the United States. When we do the net training, I ask for a banner. I ask for a donation we hang a banner. So most of them have been very supportive, thank God. But for instance, on a net training at this magnitude of 50 divers, this could run around about probably close to $40,000 to $50,000. You figure $500 per diver. And then I have to bring my staff over there, about a staff of 15 people, to support this. I fly in Steve Robinson, because he's one of the best net trainers in the world. He's been really doing this since 1983. I met Steve in Palau in Port-au-Prince in 1988. He was doing it for the Haribon Foundation. There's so many different foundations that come to the Philippines and do these mock-up trainings, I call them. It's basically NGOs running around. We call NGOs nothing going on. Basically, it's higher administration salaries. All the NGOs get all the fancy equipment. Nothing gets to the divers. Trickle down. It's more of a photo opportunity for them to get more money. What we do is we do this privately, and every penny gets to the divers. We open up substations throughout the Philippines, and we work with the Bureau of Fisheries. So during these trainings, the Bureau of Fisheries is there, the Marine Police, the Coast Guard, the Maritime Police, Maritime Police, Coast Guard, the Bureau of Fisheries. Everybody gets trained. See, the problem is nobody really knows in these areas, some of these areas, about how they collect aquarium fish. So it's a very bad impact, everybody thinks. So we went on the offense, our company, RVS Fishworld, to do these net trainings throughout the Philippines, basically to give a sustainable livelihood for these marginal fishermen. Remember, Most of these men are luckily if they're making $50 to $100 a month. So when we do these net trainings, we go in, we set up a substation, we pay them Manila price. So basically, they don't have to travel to Manila with the fish. We set up the substation, we invest into their community, and then basically we give them everything they need. You know, nets, masks, whatever they need is free. Okay. And then we buy all their catch at Manila price. We condition the fish in the field, and we're the ones who transport back to Manila. That's to get the best, you know, for us, we want to do it from the collection point all the way through to get the best, you know, conditioned fish in the world. So it takes a lot of work, and I'm a hobbyist at heart. Okay, I've been collecting fish since I'm 9 years old. So you can do anything that you love and put it into a business. You know, very blessed. You know, so here in Lubang Occidental Mindoro, we built a coral farm, and we put 50 men to work. And can you imagine? In 1 month, the mayor wanted to see the difference it makes. In 1 month, the village only had 1 tricycle. After we did the training and these men were earning money, there was 12 tricycles. So they bought 11 tricycles in 1 month. Tricycles are basically a motorcycle with a sidecar, and they can, you know, getting back and forth to the village. They could bring their family, and they can earn money off these little sidecars, the family. This is the Bureau of Fisheries right here, you'll see in the photo. So we teach them how to decompress the fish, naturally dive safety. We give them a decompression, like Steve Robinson. He's a master diver. So we teach them how to decompress the fish, dive safety. It's very intense net training. We have people from all over the world. They do come and they love seeing them, like National Geographic. They came and stayed with us for 4 months, and they've seen what we do throughout the Philippines. Everybody loves negative news, okay? Well, I'm sorry. We're all in the positive, okay? Everything is positive. So that don't sell too well, unfortunately, in many parts of the world. I don't know why, okay? But what we do is a positive thing. So everybody's looking for, I guess it sells big or something. I am clueless on this. But here's the mayor of Lubang. And after the training, you'll see, I hate to be bouncing around. They all get certified. They get a certified license with the Bureau of Fisheries. Okay. Now they're certified. Now they have license with the Bureau of Fisheries. Now we set up a system that the Bureau of Fisheries knows who's in the water, because their license has the boat they work on, okay, the banca, and the Bureau of Fisheries now has a system in place knowing who are aquarium divers, who are seafood, basically they spear fishermen. We really want to get them away from spear fishing. Let me explain. The price they get for food fish is not much. Okay, they're in shock. So the spear fishermen, you know, they spear, say, a fish with babies in the stomach. You know, that's thousands of babies they're killing. So by collecting the tropical fish, 1, they earn more money than food fish. 2, they learn that we educate them how to protect the coral reefs. Okay, and it's a win-win situation. So it starts from the LGU, that's the local government. We go in, we sit down with the mayor, and we tell them what we're going to do. Most of the time, they're very openly, they want us to do the net training. You got to remember, it's sometimes it's political, but we don't get involved with politics. The bottom line is we're here to give a sustainable livelihood for the marginal fishermen in the Philippines. We do this in other parts of the world also. We'll be going to Papua New Guinea very soon and opening up a facility in Papua New Guinea, and they are really anxious for us to get over there. But because of COVID, for 1 year, we have a warehouse full of equipment, and we just can't move because of the traveling restrictions and everything else what's going on with this crazy virus that's affecting the world. But hopefully we'll be over there this March. You'll see all the sponsors that we put up on the screen at the end who's help us with donations to do the net training. So for instance, if one net training costs say like $40,000, we'll get probably like around 15,000 from our customers, our wholesalers that buy from us, and then RVS pays for the rest. Okay, again, it's priceless. So what we invest back into these poor fishermen villages. We're businessmen here. Okay, but you have to invest. You have to invest. You have to give back for what you take. You have to educate. So it's a beautiful process. Again, I love doing what we do. It's like Christmas every day. I love the hobby. I'm a hobbyist at heart. Every day I go to work and it's like, what new fish? They'll be in front of me. So it's not just a business. It's something that we love. And we love going into the field, and we love helping these marginal fishermen. To improve people's lives is when you see that, it's a great blessing in front of you. Helping people improve. You see them being able to save money, send their kids to school. It's a win-win. Again, we're on the front line, so I don't really do much of these interviews, and it's very. Thank you, Kali, for inviting us here to talk to your group in Pennsylvania. The best cheesesteaks in the world, and water ice, and pretzels, and hoagies. I do love Philadelphia. Pennsylvania's a great state. So here's more. We do trainings throughout the Philippines. This is another area. These are marginal fishermen. Can you only imagine trying to feed your family off $50, $100 a month when you have 4 kids? Some of these areas, they go to, some of the divers have to eat betel nut. That's to suppress their appetite so they could feed their kids. So they go days without eating because they chew this betel nut. That's nuts. Okay, it's unacceptable. Okay, for me and our family here, how we run our business. Again, these are the best divers in the world. They deserve everything. So we go in, we educate, and we help them as great as possible, educating them. Again, without education, how can you blame these fishermen? So that's another thing. Everybody points their fingers, but nobody does nothing. It's all chatter talk. And then you'll get these foundations that want to come in and get big money. And then again, I say high administration salaries, NGOs running around with all equipment, but don't know how to use it, and nothing gets to the fishermen. Simple and plain. We do it privately. Again, everything gets to the fishermen, and we have a system in place. And it's a great blessing for the fishermen, for the country, and for our company. If anybody has any questions, you're more than happy to answer anybody's questions.
Guys, if you want to put questions in the chat, I can read them out to them.
Yeah, sure. So, Kali, you have any questions, you could ask me if you have anything that, if you want to know anything.
Sure. How do you just start doing this one day? Like, what was the motivation for starting, or you went for it?
Okay, I was I was a hobbyist. Okay, back in the United States, I had, I don't know how many aquariums in my house. So from when I was young, I used to breed freshwater. I went. We moved around a lot. We were a very lower middle class family, and I went to 5 different high schools throughout the Northeast. I played ice hockey, so I was. That's why the schools always wanted me to play. So I went to. My father always, he got he was in the housing the market. So he always had to move around to wherever they were developing new housing. So basically, we were always moving along with him. It's just how our life took place. So how did I get started? I used to breed freshwater fish when I was young, and I used to sell them to Martin's Aquarium in Jenkintown, Pennsylvania. Okay, you know, and I seen you could make a living off this. So I used to breed jewelfish, convicts, red devils, all assortment of freshwater fish when I was between the age of 9 to 16, 17. So I had about 30 aquariums in my bedroom, 3 stacks on the wall. I couldn't sleep if I didn't hear bubbly, bubbly, bubbly. I wasn't comfortable if I didn't hear my air stones going. So from that, I always looked at salt water. And when I grew up, it was so expensive, you know, but it was so beautiful. So when I finally was able to afford a saltwater aquarium, I started going to all the pet stores. And all the pet stores basically really knew me as, you know, more of a, you know, pure hobbyist. And I sold, again, a lot of freshwater fish in Pennsylvania. When I eventually moved back to New York, I used to have a circuit in Long Island, go to like 8 stores, like maybe 3 times a week, just to go, you know, we had a circuit. We just went and just every store go and see. And then after I see whatever everybody's fish everybody had, we go back the other way. And then I'd know where to buy, what ones I want to buy. I love looking at the fish, seeing the store, talking to the store owners. The independent stores are so important for us to support. You know, not the box stores, you know, really the independent stores, because the independent stores are the ones who basically really, really dedicate their lives on really educating the hobbyists. So I would always support the independent stores. So we ran around. Long story short, I got to know all the owners. One owner told me, "Hey, I'm going to the Philippines." He goes, "How would you like to go with me?" And no, sorry. It was a retail store named SeaWorld in Long Island. His son, okay, he asked me to pick his son up in the morning to bring him to a wholesaler. And I was like, what? I was like in shock. So I said, sure. And he said, my son can't get up in the morning. Can you pick him up? I think his son was too young at the time. So I picked up his son and I drove him to the wholesale facility. And I finally seen a wholesale facility in 1980, I think 85 was the first time I seen a wholesale facility in Long Island. There was about probably 3 to 5 wholesalers, really nice ones, pretty there. Get that on there. I'm sorry. It don't stop. Mission Impossible. Okay.
It's okay.
So after the wholesaler, went to the wholesaler and everything, became friends with him. He asked me, "Would you like to go to the Philippines and swim with the clown triggers?" I was like, I thought that was like I thought that was like the best thing in life. Wow, I'm gonna swim with a clown trigger in the ocean. And so in 1988, I flew to the Philippines and came here. And basically, when I was in Port-au-Prince, Palau, I was swimming with clown trigger, and I was in heaven. Port-au-Prince, Palau is like the Jacques Cousteau said it was the last frontier on Earth back then when Jacques Cousteau was alive. He did a documentary in Palau. It was a beautiful documentary. I basically got to see the vessel, and I seen him, but didn't personally meet him. But just seeing him alone was like a moment of like feeling like you're floating on air, you know. So a lot of things inspired me, you know, because I'm a hobbyist. So after that, we were the wholesaler was working with this exporter, and she was doing a net training program in Port-au-Prince, Palau, and that's where I met Steve Robinson. back in 1988, and I seen the dedication that Steve had, and to train these divers, and seen the difficulties he had, because again they were foundations and everything. So it was quite difficult, because the money really wasn't getting to these poor fishermen. It was more, Steve would do the training, and then it was more picture taking. And Steve really, again, this man dedicated himself on the front line of doing these trainings coming from the United States. So long story short, the lady here in the Philippines needed help, and I seen it. So I told the wholesaler, I said, listen, I go, you should redo her filtration. He said, next time. I go, next time? We flew 28 hours to get over here. I said, you're here. I said, for 1 week, it would be so easy just to do. Can you imagine her filtration and was a PVC pipe with like a mosquito net that was sewed to it, and she put air stones down the PVC pipe and that's what she called a under gravel filter. Okay, because in the old days, under gravel filter was a piece of plastic, in the hobby that we had. And I said, this is no way it could work in a saltwater exporter's facility. So he wouldn't stay. And then he said, once you stay, and here I am, I'm just the hobbyist, okay, going for the ride. So I said, yes, I'll stay and help. So basically, I knew filtration. Don't take a rocket scientist to know filtration. It's if you apply yourself, you can do things. It's amazing. Wow. So I stayed behind, and I helped her improve her filtration. Believe it or not, at that time, Instant Ocean, Tom Frakes, I think he was the vice president. There was a gentleman named David Baskin. He was making coral inserts for Instant Ocean, okay, way back in the day. And, here in the Philippines, we had, back then it was like, I think 30 exporters. And they used to have meetings, exporting meetings and everything. I was invited to one. I was just basically riding a wave, okay? And when I rode the wave, I didn't leave. I had the passion. I seen they needed help. I called up my father in the United States in New York. I told him I'm not coming home. He had almost a heart attack. He goes, it's a martial law there. I go, yeah, but Dad, I go, martial law is safe. I go, he said, what do you mean it's safe? I go, well, there's tanks in the street. Anybody does anything wrong, you get in trouble. So, you have to behave. I'm from the Bronx, New York. We're very simple people, okay? Look, again, politics, I don't get involved, but my father was nervous. But at that time, yes, it was martial law. But, unfortunately, that was the situation in the Philippines. But the Filipino people are the best people I ever met in my life. We have companies, we've opened up companies in many parts of the world, and every place in the world, the people, 95% of the time, are great people. You remember, we all bleed red, right? We're all human. So it's just to get to know the lifestyle of how the country operates, respect their culture. Most important, you have to respect their culture. As a New Yorker, we're pretty aggressive, but we're, basically we're streetwise. When you're streetwise, then we know how to respect people's culture. If you don't, you get knocked on your ass, you don't like getting knocked on your ass, basically. So make a long story short, I stayed here, and I helped the lady, and from there, she did very well. The company's name was Reagan Ricks. That was back in 1988. For I think 3 years, I stayed and helped her grow her business. And And then from there, my mother got sick and I had to go back to the States. During that time, I met my wife here. I was very blessed. And I got married in 92, but we really were married in 1990 because once I laid eyes on it, it was like Cupid. Let me explain one thing in life. Maybe I can help a lot of these hobbyists, the people watching the show. Always remember, we're not perfect human beings, but one thing my grandmother did teach me, marriage is for life. So when you pick that person, you'll know it in your heart, okay? Don't do it for material reasons. Do it what's inside your heart. If it's in your heart, make it work, okay? So when I met my wife, I felt it in my heart. And it was so in 1990, we would have been married, but my mother got sick and I had to fly back to the States. When I flew back to the States, I was the biggest importer of Red Sea fish at that time. So I grew my business. It's a small, believe me, the world's small. So once they know what you're doing and you have success at it, the businessmen will find you, okay? So we were bringing Red Sea fish in, and then I started selling Red Sea fish throughout the East Coast. And then I met a great man named Alan Segrest. He owns Segrest Farms. And he invited me down to Tampa. And he's seen what I did in the Philippines, and he said, hey, he goes, how would you like to be my partner? He goes, look, he explained to me, here's the whole pie. You have the whole pie. But a slice of the pie from us becoming partners will be a richer slice of pie. So when you're young, you have to take things, step by step. You have to think, here's the biggest wholesaler in the world approaching me, so it was a great honor. So basically, I worked with Ellen for 10 years, opening up facilities throughout the world, and we were quite successful. Ellen basically got very big, and he went on and started really expanding in the United States. My dedication was on the front line here in the Philippines, doing these net trainings and helping the marginal fishermen. We opened up in Fiji, Tonga, Belize, Central America. We were wherever the wind blew. We were in Eritrea, okay, Saudi Arabia, frontline soldiers. You'll never know, okay? You never know. That's why when you look at the great military of the United States, if you see a soldier, thank him, okay? Because they're the ones that is making our country safe, So basically, I'm just a frontline soldier in the aquarium trade. That's all I am, okay? No different than any of you guys sitting down in your chair, okay? I am just a frontline soldier doing the work. So my family here, it's a family-owned business, and I'm here to help my family. My wife's family, they own the business here, and again, I'm a frontline soldier, so I just help my family here operate the business, and wherever the wind blows, and wherever anybody needs help, and we get asked for help from many countries, we'll go and help. But now with COVID, it's very difficult to move around. But the next stop will be Papua New Guinea, hopefully next month. But it's very the travel. It's really difficult right now. The tests that they do are very evasive, to say the least. You have to have something stuck up almost into your nose and your brain, and now exaggerating there, but you have to have before you leave, you have to have a test done. When you arrive, you have to have a test done. You have to be 14 days in quarantine. During that time, you have to have 2 tests done. And then the safety of your people. So you have to put everything in perspective. Safety is very important, So right now, we're all safe and we're very blessed. we basically had COVID in September 2019. They called it an upper respiratory virus. So COVID's been out since probably, maybe May or June of 2019. And it just basically, unfortunately circled the globe, and we weren't told for probably 6 months till it was on fire. But, you know, airborne viruses are everywhere, okay? Just between you and me. You know, it's just this one's, you know, it's hurt more of, I think, Europe and America because it came from Asia. And living in Asia, we get, like, it's crazy. Like in the United States, if you get a cold once every 10 years, it's a lot. You catch a cold. Well, in Asia, it's extremely different. You get a cold every 3 months. It's normal. It's harder. The conditions are very harder to live in Asia. But if you adopt, okay, and you basically, your immune system can fight it off. And that's why, unfortunately, the United States and Europe, they haven't faced a virus as of what they had in Asia. And it's unfortunately, it's hard. But I really feel, praying that the world will heal and we'll be able to go back to somewhat a normal life, you know. But again, right, please go back, you know. But here, we always have the, you know, got my mask, okay, so, okay, have my face shield, okay, so this is basically anywhere you go out here in the Philippines, so you know, okay, and back home in the States, this is how you have to go out. Any store. So safety's first. Look, you know, I'm in my office with nobody around. Yeah. I'm breathing. Okay. I don't have to wear it. But if you go out, protect other people, you know, it's just a logical thing, you know. Some people find it inconvenient, but it's better than getting a upper respiratory virus as a COVID. Right. So
let me get to some of my questions here because I asked people for questions. John asks if you could go through your packing and shipping methodology.
Okay, basically, we're doing a shipment right now to, I think, New York. Jojo, excuse me. Get Jojo. I'll try and get you on my phone and walk you through the facility. What, can we get that on my phone? Yes. And can I walk through the facility? Yeah. Yeah, we'll have enough signal. Basically, what we do in the packing, the tropical fish, our facility here, RVS, our incoming water, we have 10,000 gallons. Our incoming water goes through ozone and UV, and then, excuse me, through diatom filter. But the diatom filter ain't like a Vortex. Remember the Vortex diatom filters? How amazing they are? How they can just clean up a 55-gallon to 125-gallon tank? They were lifesavers, those little Vortex, you know? Do you remember that, young lady?
Long time ago. I think I've only seen them in pictures. I don't think I've seen them in life.
Well, let me tell you something. If you still can get it, keep it. They're the best thing in the world. So basically, we use ozone and UV, and we filter our water for incoming water from the ocean 24 to 36 hours. After it's gone through the UV and the ozone, then during that time, after that time, we go through the diatom filter. Then it goes into our packing water. All our systems here have chillers. So all the water is the same temperature. From the fish system to the inverts to the packing water. Then it goes into our packing area. We have about, I think, a 2,000-gallon tank, and then we do put medicine in the water for shipping. That's basically for we use methylene blue. That gives more oxygen in the water, protects the gills of the fish. And we use some other medicine for bacteria issues, if there's bacteria issues, because sometimes when you screen a fish, they can have a micron injury that you can't really see with the eye, a little dot. So that will just protect the fish in its travels of not getting stressed. Okay, and all the fish are packed in naturally with oxygen, medical grade oxygen, in plastic, styrofoam box. Now in the styrofoam box, we use a thicker grade of styrofoam. So basically, in all our boxes, we have a patent here in the Philippines. Ooh, patent. Our styrofoam boxes lock in. So they're just not like a lid thrown on top. So ours, if you ever see our boxes at a wholesale or at a retail shop, you'll see it has RVS Fishworld on top, and they actually lock in. So it locks in the temperature. And then we have a winter pack and we have a summer pack. The winter pack, the density of the styrofoam is very thick, and that's to keep the temperature inside that styrofoam as it left the facility. Then when we travel to the airport, all our trucks are air conditioned. When they get dropped off at the airport, they get then it's up to the airlines. When we give instructions to the airlines what temperature to keep the fish at, and then they get put into a compartment on the plane that has to keep the fish from between 70 and 78 degrees Fahrenheit. Then when they land into whatever country there is, you can walk around now. Try and walk around and see if it works downstairs. They're gonna do a test walk downstairs, so I could show you.
Yeah, they can click the same link off of your phone.
They're on now. They're on now. I just don't want to go downstairs and lose you. So they're gonna walk around and see if it stays on the link, because the internet here is sometimes not that great. And so when the fish arrive into the country, we always instruct the buyers to have like a gun that they can do the temperature at the airport to make sure that they land it right, because once those fish are taken out of the airport with the airlines, you cannot file a claim unless you inspect them at the airport. So we educate our buyers. We try our best, okay, to make it the best travel for the fish. And you got to remember, our saying in life, the stronger our customers get, the stronger we get. Without our customers being able to grow, how can we grow? Okay, it's not always me, me, me. It's everybody has to eat. That's the most important, okay? And if you see me, I like eating, okay? So, but everybody has to eat. So hopefully that answered that gentleman's question. But we could do live links for your site, give it to you, Kali, and you can post it. We could do live links when we pack. I'll send you videos, and then you can share it with your group. So whatever you need. Bucks County Aquarium Society. The only thing I'm asking when I come back to the United States, I want a cheesesteak, okay, a hoagie, cheesesteak hoagie. I want water ice, preferably lemon or orange, okay. I want a pretzel with mustard, okay. That's Bucks County, right? You get cheesesteaks up there, right?
We can get all of those things.
Well, then I'm there tomorrow, okay.
All right. What else do we have? Okay, Tom asks, how many companies collect marine species, and are any still using cyanide?
In the Philippines, after we've done the net training program, okay, I would say we're at a 95% net caught. and maybe 5% areas do collect with cyanide. But again, if you don't educate, how can you blame? If you don't give them anything or any tools. You remember, what was brought over here was not brought over by the Filipino, okay? It was brought over by other people. Okay, I'm not going to mention what country. Can't do. Okay,
it did drop eventually.
Yeah, it dropped downstairs. It dropped downstairs. So do me a favor. Maybe I'll do a video for you, and then you can show the link to your Bucks County Aquarium Society. Right now we're at 95% or more net caught here. Okay, the real problem in any country as of the Philippines, Indonesia, Vietnam, is really the logistics of getting the fish from the field to the facility. Okay, you could have the best net caught fish in the world, but if you don't have the logistics and getting the fish down properly, and if they get overheated, you can have that again. So it's not. The cyanide is really a thing of the past, but anytime you have you're labeled with one thing, look, you can make one mistake in life and that'll be the only thing they'll remember about you. But they won't remember the 99% things you've done good. So we live again, I told you, in a cruel world. And if the fish are caught with cyanide, how would they be living in your aquariums? Basically the bottom line is filtration. Remember, invest in filtration. If you're going to set up an aquarium, I'm going to your money has to be invested in filtration. Okay. Remember, your body of water should be almost the same as your aquarium. I'd say at least 60%. Okay. Body of water to what your aquarium size is. Okay. And filtration. Good protein skimmer. Excellent UV, okay, and proper water changing. Know your fish. Educate yourself. Know if they're compatible to put them together. It's just you can't become like what do you call it, a buyer, impulsive buyer like us great Americans are. Okay, that's why we made Walmart the richest man in the world. That family, because we're impulsive. We buy just, really go through your house. How many people could do a flea market right now? How many times a year? Okay. Do you need that? Okay. No, you don't. So, if you look how the Europeans buy and how they do their hobby, it's wow, they really do it right. For me, America is the best country in the world. I'm pro-American. Okay, I'm from America. Okay, so but then you'll find people from any other country say, I come from the best country. So the bottom line is filtration, invest in your filtration. Okay, educate yourself. You can find everything on site. And if you don't know, ask before you jump in. Okay, but the bottom line is really filtration. You invest in your filtration, good UV. You understand me? Even believe it or not,
change your bulbs.
Right. Change the bulb. Right. If they say change the bulbs every 6 months, change them every 4 months then, because at the 6 month level they really dropped off by probably 30 to 40%. So if they say a year, then do it on the 10th month. We have medical grade UV here in the Philippines. We just changed all the UVs here. We always look to improve. Okay, so it's like you always can improve. Believe it or not, not everybody owns a Mercedes-Benz or BMW. Okay, so you can always improve. And that's what we do. Look, I've been at this now for, I don't know how many years, 21 and 21 and so many years. 21, and I started in 80. A lot of years, maybe 38 years. Okay, now you're hearing from somebody 38 years plus doing this, okay? You can learn every day. And if somebody tells you they know everything, don't talk to that person. Okay? I mean, it's just, and I'm not going to tell you I know everything because I don't. But if I don't know it, I'll find out who does know it. So, and if the people are ignorant, stay away from ignorant people. You know what I mean? Life's too short. Life's too short, right?
Yeah.
You got to keep learning. You got to keep learning. So we just changed over, and we're so happy with these new UVs. They make them for hobbyists, so maybe I could share it with the Bucks County Aquarium Society, okay, and get a excellent UV at pricing that isn't going to kill your pocket, okay? Because again, the better our industry, the better our hobby grows, the more sustainable we will become, okay? And that's the most important. Remember that word, okay? Now we're living in a sustainable society, okay? So everybody has to do their part. I mean it. There's no joke no more, okay? So, and it's easy to do, realistically, okay? So, again, remember filtration, and then educate, read. Believe in that, read. You know what I mean? Read.
If someone was to want to get involved in something like this, what would you suggest? Like, where would you start? Like nowadays, as far as being a part of some sort of project like this.
Well, look, if you want to get involved, if you want to have this for your business, okay, again, look at your resources. Look at, the most important, how much money you have to invest, okay. You got to remember your means. That's the most important. So as far as getting involved, like open up your own aquarium store, or what?
I think more like involvement in a project like this is, I think, what they were asking, but I don't necessarily know. Because I'm just asking someone.
If they want to support a net training program, we can let the Bucks County Aquarium Society know when, and we could make up a banner and you support it. If you want to come over for a net training program, we'll let you know when we're doing them, and you fly over, and then you can actually sit on one and attend a training. Okay,
How much does that cost? Just so everybody has expectations that are in reality.
Well, reality is a round trip airfare now to the Philippines could be economy would be probably round trip about it could be matters when you get the plane ticket, say $2,000 to $3,000. That's economy. You want to fly comfortable, you go business class, and then you're going to be investing like $7,000. And if you want to go like Versace, then it'll be like around first class. It'll be like around, I don't know about first class because I never flown first class. Okay. How I fly business class is because I'm so big, okay? And I sit in the economy chair and I break it, and they go, "Oh my God, your chair broke. We have to move. Do you mind if we put you in business class?" And I always go, "Okay." Not many people are 5'10", 360 pounds. Okay, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Okay, so it'll cost. Look, once you get over here, so you figure if you have to come over, it's a 7-day training, so you have to really spend at least 14 days. Because you're flying. Philippine Airlines is the best airlines to fly to the Philippines on out of New York. It's 16 and a half hours direct flight. If you fly on China Air or Cathay Pacific, or Singapore Airlines, you have to do a transit, or JAL. So you have to do a transit through their country, and then it turns from, it could be like 21 and a half hours, 24 to 28, which is brutal. When you're doing international travel, always go on your quickest route. It's worth every penny more. Okay, believe me. Okay,
I've done 20 hours. I don't like it.
you know, right? It's brutal. So
Yeah.
imagine you 20 hours. When you get to that country, you need at least like sometimes 3 to 5 days just to recover. You know, really. You know, unless you're a young person full of vinegar. Okay, but it's hard. You know, the international travel. So you would have to come over here, and then uh, basically we had a very nice gentleman come and attend our training. Art, I think he's from Ohio, not Ohio. He's from Kentucky. Um, so he came over to see it. Then we had people from England. We do have people travel over to do a net training or basically attend a net training program, and it's very educational. They do the 3 day open classroom, 3 day classroom, and 3 days open water, um, and it's great. So total cost to travel to Asia, you're looking at like around you get hotel, to eat and everything. You have to prepare like $5,000 to $8,000. It's expensive. Needless to say, it's expensive. Because realistically, once you get over here, we know you're coming to RVS. Okay, we take you in like family. Okay, so you have to really fly here. Not many people. Right? It ain't like we have like in the net training we have 20 people flying over. It just ain't like that. So once they whoever does travel, we usually accommodate them very well. They just have to get here. And because we're very honored if somebody does attend the training, because it's the front line, and it's very important, the front line, and to keep marching and to educating these marginal fishermen. And you'll be in shock. These men know more than anybody. It's just they never had an opportunity. That's all it is. It's just like in the United States. People need opportunities. We're no different. It's just, unfortunately here, when you're poor, you're poor. In the United States, look, poor is poor too. We have people living out on the street, which is unheard of. But, again, let's not get into that topic. Okay.
Good question then. How do you go about not stressing out the fish?
Again,
you have to attend the training.
No, how you get to not stressing out a fish is basically knowing you have to know how to handle the fish from the point of collection to getting to the wholesale, the export facility, and then packing them to the wholesaler. So basically, it's the logistics, how you handle the fish, and that goes with education. Educating for instance, most of these people have suppliers. They buy from a middleman. We don't, okay? Because the middleman is okay for certain people, but we are in the front line. We want the most going to the fishermen. The middlemen, like anywhere even the United States, you can have a middleman. What happens with the middlemen? They take advantage of us, right? So you try to get as best product as direct as possible. Okay, so you have middlemen all different levels. So here, the middleman is the one who will be the one bringing the fish to Manila. We again invest into substations. Basically, you want to get the fish right from the divers when they come from the ocean, pay them Manila price so they don't have to travel to the Manila. That's how you don't stress your fish out. You have to buy from, and there's many companies throughout the world that are doing it correctly. Not just RVS Fishworld. There's companies in Fiji that's doing an excellent job. There's companies in Tonga. There's companies in Sri Lanka that do a good job. So, and you really have to just ask your independent store that you buy from, what wholesaler, or what practices they do or what they look for. There's great wholesalers in the United States that know how to handle fish. It's the husbandry, that's it. It's not, get out of your mind the poison, okay? The poison, the fish will be dead in the field. Simple and plain, okay? It's basically, it's how they handle the fish and how they're collected and handled, okay? If the fishermen, you don't train the fishermen to change the water. Yeah, remember the first 3 days when they collect the fish, they have to change the water 4 times a day. Okay, they have to, and you have to go to the site. You have to invest. It's a lot of logistical work, but the bottom line, any business you do, you'd have to do the same for any perishable business. So it's a lot. It's a lot of detail goes into it. But once you have all your I's dotted and your T's crossed, it's like doing anything else. If when you're in the perishable business, from food to aquarium, if it ain't good, you're not going to go back again, right? So, bottom line is, you buy from the people that are doing it right. Support them. They might be a little bit more expensive, but what you're going to get is quality. Don't always look for cheap. Okay, cheap don't make sense. Like I say again, don't be impulsive buyers. Buy smart. Invest into your filtration. Make sure you do your readings. Invest into a good test equipment. Hawk. It's expensive, but you'll get your right reading. Knowing what you want to do, what kind of aquarium you want to set up, and go to a independent store that can educate you. You look, if you're a hobbyist, we're smart people. You're smart. We're all smart. But if you don't want to improve your mind, your education, then you're going to get burnt. Like anything else in life. So you have to educate yourself. You have to, keep reading, ask questions. Look, Bucks County Aquarium Society. Gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, it's the first time in 38 years I've ever done anything like this. We are frontline soldiers. You understand me? Frontline. I think the first, the second, or third MAC we were invited to speak to. It was in Newark, New Jersey, at the Sheraton Hotel. Okay, we went there, and that was the last time. I think they call it MACNA. Is it MACNA?
Probably,
I don't know.
Yeah. MACNA's the thing.
And like I say again, so we're very honored that Bucks County Aquarium Society has a great society, and this young lady really looked to bring the front line of this aquarium trade to your houses or to your homes. Okay,
People need to know where these fish come from.
Like I say again, we're on YouTube, so if you want to follow us on YouTube, we're a little raw because we're not into the social media correctness. Okay, so but you're gonna see frontline stuff. There's no fluff. Oh, there's no fluffernutter. You remember fluffernutter? Huh?
I have fluffernutter. I had peanut butter fluff sandwiches growing up.
And marshmallow spread. Wow, were those the days? So there's no fluffernutter here, okay?
I'm sorry. Are we gonna add that to the list?
You're gonna get what whatever's put in front of you here. You better eat it. If not, you're gonna have crackers and water there. Okay. So again, educate, read. You have Aquarium Society, so that's great. So you all can share information between each other, and that's the greatest tool. When I grew up, we didn't have that. We didn't. It was just we went to aquarium store to aquarium store. You have to really look. You have to ask questions, and sometimes I asked so many questions they got annoyed at me. Are you going to buy something, or are you just going to keep asking me questions? So you have to have a niche. Before, my favorite store was Martin's Aquarium, okay, in Jenkintown, when I was young. When I grew up in Philadelphia. and it's no longer there. That store was amazing. Okay, but again, it's no longer existing. That really was an amazing store, so you have to, just like I say again, read. Filtration is the most important. Your filtration. Invest in your filtration.
All right. I think we're reaching the end. I'm going to throw a few rapid fire questions at you, if that's okay. Tom asked, what is the holy grail fish for collecting?
Holy grail fish for collecting. When you find a new species, that's the holy grail. Okay. Anytime you can find a new species, discover a new species, you've done. Can you imagine a new species that is never seen ever known? That's the holy grail. So we always pray that we always find the holy grail. Okay, and for me, every fish is the holy grail. They're all precious. We love every. I have a look. Not many people keep an aquarium. I'll show you. Okay. That's my baby. Okay. That's Sammy, can you help me with this thing?
Yeah, no problem.
I just moved my camera. So I have a Red Sea aquarium. Okay. And I think it's the largest one Red Sea makes, and they're just, for me, the Red Sea aquarium is probably for the hobbyist. If you have to spend everything, but for the Red Sea aquarium, for the marine fish, is just the best aquarium you can get. Unless you want to get a big aquarium and build your own filtration, which is nothing wrong. But when you get something of a Red Sea aquarium, you can plug and play. Ooh.
The more you get the fish in there, the better.
Right.
Let's see. Is poaching a problem?
Coaching?
Poaching? I guess there is.
Poaching. Okay.
Collecting?
Let me explain about poaching. Okay. When you go into a country, you have to follow their regulations and rules. Poaching, yes, is a problem. Poaching will be a problem in any country. Okay. If it's a protected area, it's protected. If they say you can't hunt in this area, you can't hunt in that area. Simple and plain. You break the law, you get arrested. Okay. Yes, poaching is a problem. Yes. Next.
All right. How is the health of the coral reefs in your collection area and in other areas of the Philippines? And can you talk about your work to restore the damaged reefs in the Philippines?
Okay. If there's problems when we do a net training, we'll build a coral farm for the municipality. We'll assess, when we go into the field, we assess the coral reefs in the municipal waters. Okay, because here in the Philippines, municipal waters is the mayor is in charge. The Bureau in the United States, our Fish and Wildlife is in charge of our waters. Here, the Bureau of Fisheries, okay, you would think is in charge of the waters, but I think like around 15 years ago, there was a new law made, and they put it in the hands of the municipal provinces, the mayors. So it's really up to the mayor to do his job in educating and protecting, and there you got a whole political thing. So I'm staying away from that. Okay. So what we do personally, my family's business here, when we do a net training, we assess the coral reefs, and we feel that they need to be helped out. We'll build we'll build a mariculture tables there. We'll educate the divers, and we give a livelihood to the women also. So we teach everybody. We educate everybody from the children. If you watch our videos, you see everybody being educated. The whole village gets educated. So from the children to the women to the men. And we give employment to women and men. not just men. Women work harder. I hate to say that. I'm sorry. And remember, if it wasn't for women, we wouldn't be here. So be good, okay? Be good. Remember.
I'll use.
Well, no, but this again, you know, we have a lot of ignorant people out there. So what we do is we'll do a habitat. We'll rebuild the reef and areas. The areas that we go into when we do the net training, I would say 70% the reefs are in excellent condition. The 30%, then we'll go in and we'll do a mariculture farm, and then we'll rebuild the reefs. Once they see these mariculture farms and they see how the fish come back, these are poor people. They know what's right from wrong. And if you give them an education and you give them a livelihood, believe me, they will protect their reefs and they'll protect it. Okay. The biggest problem we have, and anywhere in with a coral reef, is the damage that's done from naturally poaching, dynamite fishing, Warami fishing. That's when they pound the reefs with stones and they herd the fish into nets. I can get all these videos for you to educate the Bucks County Aquarium Society. But what we do is when we go in the area now, even though if their coral reefs are good, we still do a mariculture. We do mariculture tables to educate them. Okay, so we'll go into now. We do a net training. If they don't need it, if their reefs are fine, but we'll do like 10 tables and show them, hey, this is how the corals grow. And then you do an F1, F2, F3, F4, how you can just keep cutting and planting. It's amazing how you can educate people. It's just like, like a farmer, but now they're underwater farmers. By them having a healthy reef and they see the fish come back, it's a matter of time. You look, we'll do a mariculture farm and we'll put those tables in, and within 3 months, they're in shock how the fish come back. And then after 6 months, wow, after 1 year, it's amazing. So, thank God, where there's destruction, we can bring back within a year, or a healthy reef. So that's what we do. We assess wherever we go.
Okay, and are the fish and corals shipped in pressurized holds? Like, will the air mess with them? If not, I think you're referring to like the bends, or I guess nothing's deep enough to need that.
Okay, that's where we get into the net training on decompression. We train the divers. You see how we have ladders now that we give to all our divers. The ladders basically goes in stages of where to keep the fish at. So we educate them on how to decompress the fish, okay, in different stages. So they know how to decompress. That's what you're asking, okay?
Okay, yeah, I think
just like you have to we have to decompress. The same thing with the fish. So the fish go through the same decompression stages as if you're a diver. Same thing.
Okay. Are there any groups in the Philippines that actively fight against collecting fish? That's in reference to what's happening in Hawaii, basically, like anything like that happening in the Philippines.
Yeah, you can get you can get that anywhere in the world. What happened to Hawaii is basically a national shame on us. Okay, that's broken. That's the best fishing industry, aquarium trade industry in the world, in Hawaii. Is shameful. It's shameful what has happened in Hawaii. They have all the data, all the science, so it just shows you have that all done right. Unfortunately, what a broken government that country is. I'm not mentioning what country that is. ever was. Okay? So, look, everything was applied. It's terrible when you really look at it, the fight that they're under. They went through 10 circuit courts and it was all approved. And then they brought it to the last circuit court, was the Supreme Court. You know, you get everything, you know, all different types of society and what they are and how they think. And unfortunately, that was a tragic thing. What that Supreme Court judge didn't look or even study what the 10 prior court systems all said, that this is the best, and they approved of it. So unfortunately, right now, just like CITES is pretty dangerous. CITES used to be good, you know, governments. Now it's more people with heavy money who want their way of life to go through and not think of the damage they really are doing in these poor countries. Educating and giving them a sustainable livelihood is what you want. Once you take that away, destruction will be rampant. Okay, Hawaii was the best example of the best aquarium trade in the world, and it's just like I say again, you know, hopefully that will be corrected in 6 months. Hopefully the judge will, you know, really look at science, not at just talk, you know, because there was science that was given, all data. So does that blow you away? You know,
I was surprised, but that's probably a bad thing.
It's a terrible thing. It's really a terrible thing. So here in the Philippines, they know what's right from wrong. They're not steered with, you know, how other countries operate. So yeah, we'll have a couple of people, but then when those people come, we go on the offense, okay, and we say, what are you going to do for these people? You know, everybody can talk.
Going to feed their families.
Listen, you come attack us here, okay? We have an army, okay, an army.
Fish army.
And we and again, we do it right.
Mm-hmm.
You have to help these poor marginal fishermen, you know, give them a sustainable livelihood. So here, you have chatter, but once, you know, unfortunately, what they're doing is they're doing rerun. They're doing rerun articles that have been out for 30 years, and somebody's just copying somebody's homework and putting it in their words. Okay, we invite these reporters here, and then we give them an education, and we tell them we want them to put out a letter in public re-announcing their stupidity. Okay, they just disappear. They disappear. No, but that's what you have to be on the offense. You know, that's what we're on. We're on the offense, and we always been on the offense to give a sustainable livelihood. That's the most important thing. If you love your hobby, support your hobby. Okay, let your congressmen and your senators know. That's where you're going to be the loudest thing, is a vote. You have to go and you have to really show them that, you know, this is a educational. Look, our hobby is, for me, it's proven. You have aquarium, it lowers your blood pressure. Why take medicine? You know what I mean? Really, the truth. It's got, you go to a dentist and he has an aquarium in his office, it's because the people get nervous. Yep. Makes the people calm. You go in an emergency room in a hospital, if there's an aquarium there, you know, it's not, oh, my wife's going to kill me. I shaved and I cut myself and I didn't take it off. Okay.
I didn't notice.
Right. So, again, it's, you know, support. You've got Aquarium Society. Okay. Stick together. Okay. Write to your senators. Write to, get involved. Okay. That's all. You know, make your voice heard. You know, what are they going to do? What are we going to do? We can have, they can't take, if it's done right, you know, we have to support it. That's the bottom line. Don't worry, here We're on the front line, okay? We work hand in hand with the Bureau of Fisheries. We show them what's right and from wrong, okay? You know, we so here, we make a difference here, and wherever we go, we make a difference. Unfortunately, in Hawaii, that was a shocker, but like I say again, you got tree huggers everywhere in the world. Okay.
Well, it's possible to appreciate the fish and care about like sustainability, and having an industry that's based around sustainability is the only really way to keep them around long term, because otherwise people will exploit their environments.
It's the future, and it's always been the future. Sustainability. This ain't like it's happened yesterday. We've been living in a sustainable world. Look at the planet, and we're not going to be sustainable. The planet won't last. Okay, it's bottom line. But we don't have to be, nut jobs and screaming, and the world's coming. No, it ain't coming to an end. Okay, the reefs are healthy. You want to come out and videotape. Okay, we're on the front line. Enough of all the chatter. That's why, like I say again, look, we had National Geographic stayed with us for 4 months. Very talented young ladies. They came, they seen with their own eyes, okay? And, then they moved on because, what was the report? Again, I told you, for some reason, I don't know why, and I pray it changes, okay? When have you seen on the news anything good that's happening? You know what I mean? I hate to say it. Right. What sells? What sells? Fear and BS bullshit. Okay. You know what I mean? No. You gotta. We and only we can change the world, and we can change it as we all work together and showing them that what we're doing. Put out. Look, social media is the big thing now. So just keep posting what you're doing. Show them how you have an aquarium. Show them how the aquarium is educating. Donate aquarium to a school. You know what we do, RVS here? Let me explain. We give TVs to schools, smart TVs, and then we show the children the net training. You have to educate the children, okay? When I was back in the United States, when my son was in school, we donated an aquarium to every grade, from kindergarten to first grade, second grade, third grade. There was an aquarium in his classroom. Education is the most important thing, okay? And then you get these kids away from the damn computer games and everything. Give them a hobby that they can learn and and grow, okay? That's the key. I hate to say it. COVID's been a terrible thing on the world, but it might have been a great thing because people now have to sit home and find themselves and do something to keep themselves, their mind. You can't play a video game for 12 hours. You'll go nuts after like 2-3 months, okay? Your brain will melt, okay? You have to do something that you can learn and grow, from, look, a freshwater aquarium, a saltwater aquarium, okay, you can, it's so educational, okay, and you can see how the fish habitat, it's educate and teach. You remember, you have children, give your child an aquarium, okay, let them take care of it, let them learn, okay.
Improves their scores in science as well, because it keeps them invested.
Tremendous, okay.
All right.
Little things we could do go a long way.
All right, one last question, because I guess I missed the mark on the question before. With the pressurized chambers, they were actually asking about airplane chipping.
Okay, all the airplanes are all airplanes have decompression on the flight. Okay, so you don't have to worry about your luggage exploding. Okay.
Right. No exploding fish. Got it.
Right. So the planes, the only thing you have to worry about on a plane is the temperature. Okay. That there. Remember when we ship, if you look at our boxes, I'll send you a box. They're labeled on the airway bill. Special handling instructions. What temperature to keep the fish in. They're basically where you have to keep the fish are in the heat. It's the heated compartment. Yes, there's a compartment on a plane that goes to 40 degrees. No, we don't want the fish in there. That's where they'll put the luggage, okay? So there are heated compartments on the plane for fish, and that's where they put the fish. And if your fish are not labeled properly, and if they think they're seafood, yes, you'll have a chance of your fish being put in the wrong compartment. But again, 99% of the time, they're put in the right compartment. It's up to the importer when they get the fish in. Now they have these magical things now. It's like a laser gun. You could just buy it, you put it on your box, you can see the temperature. You do not leave the airport. You remember, if the fish are labeled what temperature to keep them at, the shipper is reliable. Okay? Okay? So when you get a package, but you got to remember the best. I know some of you guys are buying online. Whatever way you want to buy, you buy. For me, is you're looking at a true hobbyist here, to the bone. You know what I mean? To the bone, to the marrow. I go into the independent stores. That's where I want to go. I want to look at the fish. You know what I mean? I love the independent stores, and that maybe not all of you have stores in your area.
We're lucky.
Right.
We have stores.
In Pennsylvania, you have a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You do in Pennsylvania. At
least like 4 or 5 within driving distance that are really, really nice and really, really nice to Bucks County. So thank you guys, sponsor stores.
So you have 4 or 5 great stores in Bucks County. Well, take a day and make it a day with your family and go to all 4 or 5. Okay.
We do fish rallies. Well, we used to pre-COVID. We were doing that once a year. We'll do it again.
When I ever get back to the greatest country in the world, America, okay? As you see, I wear my stars and stripes. Okay, okay. I am a pro-American. I'm sorry, but you see, I have my eagle behind me. Okay.
I can't see it. Nope.
I'll show you my eagle.
Oh, there we go.
But that's a Philippine eagle, okay?
Yeah, it's a melding of the 2 ideas. It's
yeah. So
nice.
I love going. So when I do ever get back to the States, I pray I get back to the States. I would be honored to take we'll do a route in Bucks County and we'll visit all the stores, okay?
Yeah, absolutely. Come visit anytime.
No, I mean it.
Lunch will be a cheesesteak. Dessert will be the ice. So we'll make it.
But you should do it more than once a year. Okay, you should. If I was in Bucks County, I would drive you nuts. I'd be the craziest hobbyist you ever seen in your life. Okay, because I'd be there once a week. Doing that 5-store circuit, okay? If you have 5 stores, you're blessed. When I lived in Long Island, at that time, I had 7 stores, okay? And wow, that was like, you don't know. We were just, and we did that, I don't know, 3 times a week. Now, I'm a real hobbyist. We'll put you on YouTube, okay? What? Come in, please. This is my son Sammy.
Hi.
He's the future. Okay? So he's the future right here. Okay? He's gonna be. I'll give him the torch, and he's gonna carry the torch on for the aquarium hobby and industry. Okay, frontline. So
he's welcome in Bucks County too.
He's the next frontline soldier. Okay.
I can't wait for that.
Yeah. So we have a YouTube page. You know, RVS Fishworld and Golden Ocean. So you guys just subscribe to it. You know, and then you can see what we're doing. You know.
Absolutely. I think I shared the Golden Ocean one in the chat, and I'm going to also share the RSV.
RVS. RVS, young lady.
RVS, yep. I just shared that.
Cali. So that's Callie.
Yep, Cali. Just like the state.
That's a very where that name? That's a beautiful name. I never
I'm
heard
pretty
it.
sure it came from one of those like 1,000 baby name books. That
Well, let me
mom
say
had.
something. I want to see that book because I've never heard that name in my life before. Okay, very unusual. Beautiful
Usually,
name.
if someone has a name Callie, they're usually a calico cat. That's where
Well,
I've seen it before.
It's
So
it's a beautiful name. I never heard that name before. And I'm not Sip either. Okay.
all right, I think we're going to be done for the night. I think we're going to go to Sherry and get a raffle going. But I do want to thank you for coming to speak with us. This has been amazing.
Again, we'll share videos. We'll give to you. Okay. Anything
you can and I'll post it to the Facebook group.
Right, and anything you guys need, let us know. Okay, and go to Mark. I think in Bucks County, you have what, Pets Plus there?
We have Pets Plus, we have Hidden Reef, we have Fish Factory, we have Super Cichlids, that's a little bit more south. There's a bunch of smaller stores in New Jersey, and there's Absolutely Fish to the north.
Yeah, that's Patty. Absolutely Fish. Pat. He's the owner. He used to be Billy in the old days. Okay, it was a different name in the old days. It's so scary. I can go back so far. I'm starting to scare myself. But yeah, but Mark, I think we saw them. Mark store buys from us. Pets Plus, but the other stores probably get it through the wholesalers. But young lady, do us a favor. Next time you have a nice cheesesteak, can you send us a picture or video, please? Okay.
Oh yeah, I'll send you a picture. Thank you.
Okay. God bless, and everybody stay safe, healthy, and happy, please. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Sherry. Let's get this raffle going. You're muted, Sherry.
All right, I'm ready to spin the wheel.
All right.
And it's not spinning yet.
Okay, there it goes. All right, there's a $50 Fish Factory gift certificate and a food prize pack.
Oh, I think it went to Scott.
Scott, what would you like?
Is Scott still here?
Scott earlier.
He was here. We'll have to get in touch with him and find out what he wants. Ready for the second spin?
Yeah, we can spin it again. It's getting late. Sorry, everyone. But everybody's engaged, so keep going.
He just paid his membership tonight. It's the benefits of paying your membership.
There you go. And I know Doug's here because he's been heckling.
Yeah, he has been. But it's nice that we could just go to the website. That's the Bucks County Aquarium Society's website. I believe it's you go to the information tab, and then when you drop down, there's membership, and you could use PayPal to join our club.
Absolutely. And I think we'll just get a hold of Scott and Doug. And with that, I think we are good for the night. And thanks, everybody. There's 31 of you that have stuck with it this whole time. Thank you.
It's so interesting. It's definitely worth sticking through it.
All right. Good night, everybody.